It's quite a mouthful of a name, but in full, it's Center for Technology Disputes Resolution Uganda. So CTDR-U is indeed in that area, especially in regard to access to justice. So the innovation that you're interested in is mobile money related. So we've had issues in the past where consumers get issues with mobile money. For example, a consumer might send money to their mother, but it ends up with a stranger and they can't find how to get it back, okay? And there are mechanisms on which they can get that money back. Or let's say unreasonable deductions are made on their mobile money accounts or other similar errors. So the problem has been that these consumers have a knowledge gap between what should be done and what the problem is. So we came in as a middleman to bridge that knowledge gap. And many of these mobile network operators that I will call MNOs have very lengthy terms and conditions. And some of the remedies to these problems are within the systems of these mobile network operators. But we have a population that is a bit illiterate on some of these issues. So from an angle of consumer rights, we come in to bridge the gap between many of these illiterate consumers and the ecosystem of the payment systems, bridging that knowledge gap, because this is a very advanced innovation, mobile money, but then we have a population that's lagging behind with literacy on these issues. We don't want to take credit for sending the money back to you. We've built relationships with these mobile network operators, and we know that there are established mechanisms in which many of these problems can be worked on. And many of the users run to Twitter, to rants and places like that. They don't know where to go to get help. And sadly, sometimes they contact customer care, which is rarely helpful. So we come in to connect them to the mobile network operator and present these issues formally. We have the National Payment Systems Act that released regulations, consumer protection regulations recently. And we really follow that mechanism that is set within those regulations. And yes, I'll give an example. Mobile money is regulated by the Bank of Uganda under the National Payment Systems Directorate. And if we take a use case of a market vendor who has lost money suddenly, there are very many ways they can lose money. It could be through fraud, it could be through negligence on their own, or it could be an error of the network. How are they supposed to report that case, say, to the central bank, which looks intimidating to them? And sometimes we have customer care that's supposed to help them at the networks, but doesn't do that all the time. There's a big number, because since we started this innovation, we've handled over 800 cases, and we've been able to handle over 300 successfully resolved. We are activists for consumer rights and consumer protection. We don't get paid by the consumer to help them. We rely on grants, really, to run our operations. And what's in it for us, really, it's the happiness of the consumer. We came up with the idea about 2 years ago, but only got funding for it last year. So we noticed that the innovation of mobile money had come in to ease life. And it's really been easing life for very many people. And it's the platforms that are using mobile money are transacting a lot of money every day. And this money is money that is used for businesses, used for day-to-day events, family. So we have also, in light of the outreach that we need to have towards a larger population, we have thought of ways in which we can reach those people, and that has very limited options. But one of the two options that stand out is having USSD codes for people that don't have access to internet or don't have access to smartphones. So we think that people who have limited coverage are able to access us through USSD codes, but also we hope to set up a call center that can be on standby with a toll-free number for any consumer that has a complaint, and they will be able to reach us through those avenues.